Hey guys, Ray from rearview.com. So I'm back with my review of the Haloview MC5111 rear monitor camera. You can use it as a backup camera, or like I do, I use it as a rear view camera. So I can put it on the back of the RV and see what's going on behind me. Now I had the previous version installed last fall. I installed the 7-inch version. This is actually a new version. This is a 5-inch screen. Let's see, it measures the case measures 5 1/4 wide and about 3 3/4 tall. So it's quite a small form factor compared to the 7-inch. The 7-inch I used my whole snowbird trip from November to April, and I was quite pleased with it. I didn't get any cutouts at all on my 30-foot rig. And you can see the pictures are quite nice on these Haloviews. I was really impressed with the sharpness, the color, and how bright it was compared to I had before a Taddy Brothers backup camera, and I was a little iffy on the display quality. It wasn't quite as good, but this is really good. Also, the Haloviews here, you can see up here where it says record. It records what's going on the screen, which is really nice. Say you get in an accident or something like that. Anyway. Basically, this one functions much the same as the 7-inch. I'll just go through some of the menuing features here. So you click menu and you get the different features. You can adjust the volume, you can mute the volume. I find the mic on both models is terrible. It's quite garbled, the pickup on it, so I don't really use the volume feature at all. You go in here to picture, you got brightness, contrast, color, that sort of thing. And here we go, mirror. This confused a lot of people because I was using it as a rear view camera. So you can see, you can change the orientation. You can reverse it vertically and horizontally. Let's go through. You can see. So when I used it, I had it, because I was using it as a rear view mirror, I had it reversed horizontally, and a lot of people thought I was driving on the wrong side of the road, but if you look in your rear view mirror of your car, you'll see everything is reversed. So when I used it as a rear view mirror type deal, I wanted everything reversed so cars came up on the proper side of the vehicle. Anyway, that's a good feature. Not all cameras are reversible like that. You actually have to go move the camera around. This thing also does quad mode. So you can set different split screens or all 4 screens at once. And then there's, oops, not quite used to this yet. Settings, we've got time. You can select what you want when you hit the select button to scroll through the different cameras. You can use up to 4 cameras on this. We've got auto pairing, and we also have this scan, so I can set this to scan through my cameras every how many seconds I want it to do if you want to monitor multiple cameras at once. Yeah, the pairing worked really well. It was pretty well instant. I'd just go press the thing and the thing would pair right away. There's a little button on the camera that you push, and within 20 seconds and it pairs it. So I've actually paired it to my other camera, my previous camera, the one that came with the MC5111. It worked with this MC5111. So you can see this is coming out of the MC511 camera. Just press select. Now this is the one that's mounted on up high on the rig. You can see its pictures come through on the display as well. There's also the record. You can set it to record or not to record. It's got park line. You can set it if you're using it as a backup camera. You can go in and put in the park line sort of thing, on or off. So that's pretty good there. I'll just go through here and show you. So I don't have anything on camera 3 or 4, but there you can see I have the 2 cameras going on at once. Now, I had a question last time, does this record all the cameras like this screen? And so far, I've only been able to get it to record one camera at a time. It doesn't seem to record this quad feature now. I could be missing something, but I kind of played around with it and I couldn't get it to do it at all. There we go. So, as far as signal strength, what I did is I put this in the back window of my rig. Just as a test, I taped it to the back desk of the RV, and I drove up here about 150 miles, and I didn't get any cutouts or anything whatsoever. No disconnects. It was pretty solid. And also, I put the camera on the license plate of my truck, and I drove around 240 miles with it on a trip, and I didn't get any disconnects or anything whatsoever as well. So I find the wireless signal is really good. It's really solid and strong. I did get, every once in a while, I did get some pixelation going on. So it didn't cut out completely, but I did get it would get kind of blotchy, especially when it was on the truck's license plates. So they do sell an extender piece for it where you come with a 16-foot cord, and you can kind of use a second antenna to extend the range if you have a really long rig. There's the optional extension antenna there. See, it's quite a bit longer than the normal antenna. So you could mount that somewhere on your rig. It's magnetic. If you have like a fifth wheel like mine, where you don't have any metal up there, it comes with this little metal piece here that you can stick on there, and then that snaps in place. Or I can imagine you could hook this up to the display and mount that somewhere on top of your truck and do the same thing, kind of extend the antenna range that way. So let's go outside and show you how I have the cameras mounted right now. Okay, so there's the camera from the MC5111 that I mounted last fall, right at the top of the rig there. It gives a nice overview. And then we'll go down here, and this is the new camera that came in the MC5111 kit. So I've just mounted it on the ladder here as a kind of a test place, and I'm just using my solar generator has a 12-volt port, so I can power it. But basically, you have to find 12 volts to power the camera. Now, most people are going to use, if they're going to mount it up there, they're probably going to use one of the marker lights up there to power the camera. I drilled a hole because I already was powering something else, a cell booster antenna, so I drilled a hole and put a junction box, have an internal switch for all that. But yeah, most people use the marker lights, or you could use one of the, you find power back here, so when you turn on your lights, then the cameras turn on. So it came with a couple mounts. This is the license plate mount, and you can see I just have it mounted there. I found though, when I was traveling on my trip, that license plate mount had quite a bit of movement on it, so I was kind of getting a wavy effect. It also comes with, at least mine came with this mount, and then you can mount it right to your rig like that. This is supposed to mount to the Furrion cameras. I know one guy that bought it and said it didn't really work. There was a second mount, so I contacted Haloview, and they sent me some photos of the two different brackets they have, and they can mount to the Furrion system, but in two different ways. So let me just put that up in the video here and show you what they sent me and the two different optional ways of mounting to a Furrion system. Really, if you don't know what a Furrion system is, some of the new RVs right up about there, they'll have a pre-wired camera mount called a Furrion. Some will come with the Furrion camera, but some will just come pre-wired, and there'll be a little kind of a black thing up there where you're supposed to put a backup camera. Okay, next I'll go through some of the mounting options in the truck. So right now I have it mounted on a piece for mounting a GPS or a backup camera in my Ram. So this is for my GPS, and you can see there's a suction cup mount So that works quite well with this camera, backup camera display. But I like to have my GPS here, so that's not where I'm going to mount it. The other option they give you is this bracket, and that can fit on there, and you can mount it somewhere, say up in the headline or something like that. But what I'm going to do, and I'm kind of excited because it's so small and lightweight, I'm just going to actually be able to bungee it to my mirror when I need it, because I only really need this when I'm towing. I don't need it for just driving the truck around. So that's what I'm going to do. So just let me mount it up there, and I'll show you what it will look like. There we go, just like that. So I just used some kind of hair bands, just women's scrunchy kind of hair bands that you use for their ponytails or whatever, and wrapped it around the back of my mirror there, and that's plenty to hold it in place right in front of my mirror. I don't have to put any kind of mounting. I'll be able to just undo those bands and pull it off when I'm not using it. And that really clears up the space here, because before I had kind of the camera right there, and this is really natural to look if you're looking in the rear view mirror. Of course, there's the rear view mirror, so it's a really natural thing to do, to look up there. Help us to see what's going on behind me right up there. Looks a little dark right here because the camera's dealing with so much brightness up here, but actually it is quite bright. So let me zoom in there. That's the picture I'm getting out of it there. And I'm sitting in the truck in front of the RV, so this is basically the distance that I would need for it to cover, and it's picking up both cameras fine. Let's just go to select here. There's the other camera there, and both cameras. So that's the new one there that's sitting on the ladder of the rig where I showed you before. So I think that's going to work out really well, and then I'll be able to have my GPS down here. You can see this is the mount that I had it on previously here when I showed you before. And these are actually called goat mounts. There was a viewer that saw that I needed one, and he didn't need anything there anymore because he bought the big 7-inch display, so he's kind enough to send me that out to try, and it actually worked really well. So this summer I'll be dealing with this big bundle of wires. What I want to do is get rid of all this, go in here, find 12 volts, and then I'll be able to get rid of all that stuff there and just have everything clean with my dash camera and my GPS, and then I'll have the backup camera. Probably up here, I think there's probably 12 volts up here, because there's in here there's a backup camera in the mirror itself for the truck, so I should be able to find 12 volts up here, so I even get rid of the wire that's dropping down there. But yeah, I think that's going to be a good addition this year rather than that big display. Okay, well there you go. Haloview MC5111. I give it a thumbs up. It seems to perform just as well as the 7108, just a smaller display. I'll have to get used to a little smaller, but I think that mounting point in the truck will be a lot better for me. Usually I'm just mostly concerned with actually seeing if there's a vehicle behind me. I don't need to see super clear. Usually you can't read the plates anyway. These things have quite a fisheye lens on them, so unless the thing is right behind you, you're not going to be able to pick out a plate or anything. So you just kind of want to see that there's a vehicle there. But I do have one mounting thing I want to do with this, and one application that's really not as a backup camera. I want to use this thing as a security camera in our rig. So just let me show you where I'm going to mount that. That's going to be a future video where I show you this mod that I'm going to do to mount this camera for security purposes. I think I'm going to take this and mount it right above this light up here and point it down just up there somewhere. figure out a mounting location. Maybe right there. And then I'll be able to record everybody that comes up to our door. And because of the fisheye, it'll record quite a bit of a range. So I should be able to grab 12 volts. There's 12 volts going out to that light. Somewhere behind this wall, that 12 volts goes in behind this panel. So I should only have to fish a wire that far, but that's going to be a future mod. So stay tuned for that. So that'll be an interesting mod to figure out. Well, till next time, Ray from rearview.com. Thanks for watching, everyone. Cheers.